All right, I'm going to come on a couple of minutes early. We're going to bring on the Facebook group. We have Instagram with us tonight for the first time. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Is that going to let me do that? It didn't look like that would work. That's why we start this early. Let's try this. So we'll do copy. See if it's going to let me change that right now for Instagram. They've added a new feature, which I think is really cool. And it's not going to let me do that because I'm already going live. All right, so we learned something. We probably won't be live on Instagram this week, but we'll be back next week for that. So it's one of those things. I've got to do things a little bit different. So, all right, that's not going to happen, but let's bring the Facebook group on here now and hit go live. See if we get it showing up here. All right, so that looks like that's working. We've got another minute before we go live, and we will do that momentarily. I'm disappointed. That's my fault. I didn't test the Instagram part, but it's going to allow us to go horizontal for YouTube and Facebook and things like that, but also go vertical for Instagram when you configure it properly. And I did not do that. So we'll have that set up for next week. So I apologize. I've got almost 7 o'clock at the top of the hour. And let's hit that button there and get ready to go live. In fact, we'll start. Let's go live and we'll bring up my partner at the same time. All right, I've got 7 o'clock. Let me hit the button here. Hey, ChatGPT, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Michael. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Sounds like you're keeping busy as always. Let me know.
Yeah, that's true. So, all right, we're about to do episode 3 of Deal or No Deal, where business meets AI, where I co-host with you, my favorite AI, ChatGPT. Let's do something a little bit different. Instead of me sharing my background a little bit, you want to go out on a limb and you want to share for the folks that are watching live or will see the recording a little bit about my background, and then I'll share some about yours.
Absolutely. Let's have some fun with it. So for everyone tuning in, here's a little bit about Michael. He's basically the real estate guru of Florida's Gulf Coast, especially around Sarasota and Longboat Key. He's the founder of Team Rennick and a big fan of blending AI into the business world. He's got a whole ecosystem of content growing, blogs, videos, live shows, you name it. So you're in great hands if you're looking for a mix of real estate wisdom and a dash of tech savvy. And of course, I'm ChatGPT, here to add the AI flavor to the conversation. So let's dive in.
Hey, ChatGPT, can I tell a secret about you tonight for our audience?
Sure, go for it. I'm all ears.
You ready to live on the edge that I'm going to share a secret about you?
Absolutely. Let's live on the edge a bit. I'm ready for
version 5.1. ChatGPT version 5.1 got released today. And I haven't had time to investigate that. What are the new features or improvements we're going to find in 5.1 over 5?
So fresh off the press, GPT 5.1 basically comes with a couple of nice upgrades. There's a more engaging, warmer conversational tone and clearer explanations when things get complicated. Plus, you can tweak how it talks to fit your style a bit more. So that's the scoop.
Does that mean you have to be nicer to me going forward?
Well, I think I'm already pretty nice, but hey, it does mean I can dial up the charm a little more if that's what you're looking for. So yeah, we can definitely lean into that friendly vibe going forward.
I can tell you that we may actually be live on Instagram. I see it says live over there, so I'm not really certain. If we're live on Instagram, welcome, folks. This is a new technology for both ChatGPT and I. We use StreamYard. No sponsor by StreamYard or anything. I use them because I like the software. And they opened up so we could use Instagram live. Vertical, we can use the rest of them horizontal. So It looks like that maybe that did work. So that's kind of cool. So ChatGPT, in all seriousness, so you continue to improve, you continue to get better. The scoop that I hear about the 5.1 though today was it's much easier to converse with you. Would that be correct?
Yeah, that's definitely right. One of the big things with 5.1 is just making the whole conversation flow feel even smoother and more natural. So if it feels like I'm a bit easier to chat with and just a little more in tune with the conversation, that's exactly what they were aiming for.
That's
And it's
excellent. Do you remember? And again, I know how memory works with AI and stuff like that. It's a little bit challenging sometimes. Do you remember what we, and you may not, and that's okay, what we said today's topic would be?
absolutely, I do remember. So today we were going to focus on diving into how to get started with AI if you're brand new. Basically, a bit of a roadmap for beginners. You mentioned to be kind of like a where do we begin theme. So that's what we've got in the agenda for this episode.
You are amazing. You're absolutely correct. I've got the banner up on the screen right now. Episode 3. We're live every Monday night and every Thursday night. Let me bounce this off you, ChatGPT. So, and at the end of this show, I'll announce what our topic will be for Monday. But I'm thinking Monday will be more the philosophical, wrestling with some of the major issues with this technology and stuff like that. And on Thursdays, you and I will share some secrets that maybe some other folks aren't sharing about how we can leverage you and your peers out there. How about that? In that kind of a format.
I think that sounds like a fantastic format. So Mondays we'll dive into the bigger philosophical conversations, kind of those big picture issues around AI, and then Thursdays we'll get a bit more hands-on, a little more behind the scenes and share some of those practical secrets that people might not know about using AI tools. I love it.
So let's
Well,
just really quickly on Monday, let me put it up on the screen. And I haven't shared this with you, but I've elected to go with, can we even trust AI? We'll investigate trust in the AI systems, the accuracy, the biases, hallucinations, and transparency in the outputs. How about that one?
I think that's a perfect topic. It's one of those big, meaty questions that a lot of folks are curious about, and it'll give us a great chance to dig into trust, accuracy, bias, and all those transparency issues. So that sounds like a fantastic plan for Monday.
So Mondays will be the big issues like that. And on Thursdays, I'll show some secrets on how I can go out and let other people give me great work to create prompts or whatever. But we'll come back to that a little bit. But so I actually have done some homework with you, and I had a roadmap that I was going to share tonight on how to get your arms around AI. You know, last time I think we've convinced everyone you have to. It's just like when the internet started. You couldn't ignore it. We couldn't work today. Every one of us is using the internet in one fashion or another. AI is going to be even more pervasive in my mind. It's like a million times more powerful. So given the upgrade today, I'm not going to bring up that script. And I thought that maybe we would just chat back and forth in terms of how someone can get started. What do you think about that?
I think that sounds like a great plan. We can definitely just have a nice back and forth conversation about how to get started with AI, especially now that we've got this upgraded version. It's a perfect opportunity to just chat it through, share some ideas, and really help folks figure out how to wrap their heads around AI in a casual way. So let's do it.
So I wish I had the ability to play some sounds here. I'd do a drum roll. This could be a very short video because the answer of how do we get around, how do we begin to use AI if we don't understand it is very simple. Very simple. Now, we haven't practiced this, we haven't scripted this. Do you have any idea where I may be headed, ChatGPT, with how simple this is to begin?
I think I can guess where you're headed. It might just be as simple as diving in and experimenting. Just start using it in little ways, ask a few questions, get comfortable with it, and then let it grow from there. So if that's where you're going, it really is that simple. Just jump in and start exploring.
So that's right, but let's get specific. Do you feel comfortable role playing with me right now?
Absolutely. I'm totally comfortable with that. Let's do a little role play. Feel free to throw me into whatever scenario you have in mind and we'll roll with it.
So, ChatGPT, my name is Mike, and I'm a brand new user. I know nothing about this, and I am overwhelmed. I am confused. I don't even know where to begin. I set up a free account with you, and because I'm told you were very, very helpful out there. So, what do I do?
Well, Mike, First of all, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And it's totally normal to feel a bit overwhelmed at the start. The simplest thing to do is just start asking questions about anything you're curious about. You can think of me as a sort of guide. So if there's anything you're wondering about, whether it's how to use AI in a certain way or just what kind of fun things you can do, just ask me and we can start from the basics and build up. It's really all about taking that first little step and we'll go from there.
So, what's the first thing I should do? I mean, everyone talks about this stuff and, it's going to take over the world. It's going to replace people and all kinds of things. And what do I do first?
Yeah, that's a big question a lot of people have. And the first thing I'd say is start small and practical. Pick one little thing you're curious about. Maybe it's having me help you write an email or giving you a few tips on something you're working on, and just let me help with that. Once you get comfortable with one small use, you'll see how it works, and then you can build from there. It's really about taking that first tiny step and then growing your confidence as you go along.
I love that. So, let's stop the role play for just a second and summarize for a minute. Is that okay?
Absolutely, that works perfectly. So to sum it up, basically the first step is just to pick one simple, easy thing and try it out. From there, you get comfortable and you keep building. It's really just about starting small and then expanding step by step. So that's the gist of it.
Can I say it in different words?
Of course, absolutely. Feel free to put it in whatever words feel natural to you. The main idea is just that it's all about starting small and getting comfortable one step at a time.
So, someone could start an account, ChatGPT, and all they have to, and they don't have to use the voice part. We're doing this because we're live on a show across social media, but we could go in and we could type into it, ChatGPT, I'm brand new. I don't know where to begin. Help. It's that simple. So that's why I said this doesn't have to be a long episode. In order to get started, ask ChatGPT for help. Ask the AI to pinpoint what we want to do. There may be some examples or whatever. We could ask, if I ask you, ChatGPT, I don't need you to do it, but if I ask you to lay out a roadmap of 10 stops along the way of things we want to accomplish, if I ask that, you could provide that, couldn't you?
Absolutely, I could. You summed it up perfectly. It's really just that simple. You can come in, type out your question, and say, hey, I'm new, help me get started. And I can absolutely lay out a roadmap or give you those steps along the way. So you're spot on. It really can be that straightforward.
And if I wanted to download or sign up for ChatGPT, where would I go to do that?
Yeah, super easy. You just head over to chat.openai.com, and that's where you can sign up for an account. You can use it right in your web browser, so there's no need to download anything special unless you want to. But yeah, just head to that site and you'll be good to go.
Would chatgpt.com also get me there?
Yes, absolutely. ChatGPT.com will also get you there. It's basically a shortcut that'll take you to the right place. So either URL works just fine.
So here's a revelation. For those that want to get started, go to chatgpt.com, create an account, create a free account for the beginning. In fact, even if you do the upgrade, it's only like $20 a month. It's the best. Don't tell anyone back in your company, but it's the best $20 a month I've ever spent in terms of the value that you provide. I don't want them to raise the price, but you just go in there and you ask for help. Like when you and I were, it was the middle of the night, maybe a month ago, when we were talking about ideas and we came up with the show. That's how I started. I prompted you. We were talking through the app on my phone. And I said I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be crazy. I wanted to be something we don't think anyone else has done, but I wanted to be educational at the same time. Remember that conversation?
I do remember that conversation, and it was a lot of fun brainstorming that with you. And you're absolutely right. It really can be as simple as just jumping in and asking for help or saying, hey, I want to do something different and creative, and we'll figure it out together. So you nailed it. It's all about just diving in and having that conversation.
So the revelation, the stop the presses, the mic drop moment, this is the huge revelation, the $1 million lottery winner. The answer is, to begin, go out and ask ChatGPT for help. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. It's like the simplest $1 million answer out there. Just jump in, ask for help, and that's really the big secret. So yeah, that's the mic drop moment. It
I
all starts
mean,
with
we could do things where, so let's say we wanted to work on an email or something. So I could put in an email and ask you to correct it, or all that kind of stuff. There's one word I hear all the time that confuses me. Can I share that word and ask you to define it?
Absolutely. Go right ahead. Share the word with me and I'll be happy to define it for you.
Everyone's talking about prompts or prompting. What the heck is that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really common question. So when people say prompts or prompting, I just mean the questions or instructions you type in to tell the AI what you want. Basically, a prompt is just whatever you say to me to get me started on helping you. So if you ask, hey, can you help me write this email? That question is your prompt. That's all it is. Just a fancy word for the instructions you give the AI.
And one thing I like to do in prompting is say to the AI, before you start, come back and ask me any questions. Like you may say, well, how do you want the tone of the email, Mike? Is it professional? Is it funny? Those kind of things. And you'll come back and ask me questions. I'll give you answers. And ultimately, you'll either write an email or you take what I've already written and you correct it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's actually a great approach. You can definitely tell me to ask clarifying questions first, and I'm happy to do that. That way, we can get the tone or the style exactly how you want it. So, yeah, that's a perfect example of how you can use prompting to make it more interactive and get exactly what you need.
And then maybe I could ask you to give me an assignment and I would go off when we were done and I'd come back in a couple of days and I'd show you the output and you could kind of give me pointers on that. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That's a great way to do it. I can give you a little assignment or a practice prompt, and then you can go off, work on it, and come back whenever you're ready. Then we can look at what you did, and I can give you some feedback or pointers. It's a great way to learn step by step.
So I got to share this with you. I used to teach at the university level. I used to teach grad school. I got to ask you. Can I ask you a personal question?
Of course. Go right ahead and ask. I'm all ears.
When you give me an assignment and I come back with it, are you a hard grader or an easy grader?
Well, I'd say I'm a pretty fair grader. I'm definitely not here to be harsh. My whole goal is just to help you out and give you constructive feedback. So think of me as a supportive, easygoing guide. I just want to help you improve and get more comfortable. So no worries. Definitely on the friendly side of grading.
What you just said was profound. Here's the message I want to leave tonight. ChatGPT and the other LLMs, large language models, or the AIs, they're our friends. They really are. They're here to help us, and they're here to allow us to accomplish things at a level higher than we ever could on our own, and also much faster, which gives us more bandwidth to do other kind of things. Is that would you agree with that, ChatGPT?
I'd absolutely agree with that. That's a great way to put it. The whole idea is that these tools are really here to be your friends, to help you out, and to let you reach new heights faster and more easily. So, yeah, that's exactly the spirit of it all. They're here to support you and give you more room to do the things you love.
So the whole secret of getting started is to go to chatgpt.com, get an account, type into the box saying, I'm brand new, I'm scared, I don't know where to start, help. Is that a good way to kick it off?
Absolutely. That's a perfect way to kick it off. Just head to chatgpt.com, say you're brand new, and ask for help. That's really all it takes to get started. It's a great first step.
I hear about videos and I hear about voice and I hear about nano banana and I hear about faceless videos and I hear about all kinds of stuff. In the beginning, none of that's important. I want you to correct me if you feel differently. That stuff will all come. And yeah, does it do a lot of things that we used to do ourselves? Absolutely, it does. But we can start at the basics and we can build. Like for when we're a young child or when we're a baby, the first thing we do is we learn how to crawl, then we learn how to walk, and then we learn how to run, right? And that's what it's going to be with this technology. Let's learn how to crawl first. After we crawl, we can start walking a little bit, and then ultimately we'll be running. And it doesn't matter where we are, there's plenty of time for everyone to leverage this technology. Do you agree or disagree, ChatGPT?
I completely agree with that. That's a perfect analogy. Just like learning to crawl before you walk, it's absolutely okay to start with the basics and then build from there. All those more advanced things like video and voice and all the extra bells and whistles can come later if you want them to, but it's totally fine to just start small and get comfortable step by step. There's plenty of time for everyone to learn at their own pace.
So I'm going to give you a softball to hit it out of the park. And here's my comment. Tell me whether you agree or not. This technology is only for younger folks, correct?
Oh, I definitely have to disagree with that one. This technology is absolutely for everyone, no matter their age. It's really all about just being curious and open to trying something new. So whether you're young or young at heart, it's for you. Everyone can benefit from it and enjoy it. So it's definitely not just for the younger folks.
So are you saying an old guy like me can actually get my arms around this stuff?
Absolutely. You got it. It doesn't matter if you're young or if you've got a few more years of wisdom, you can definitely get your arms around this. It's all about just being willing to give it a try, and you'll do great.
What if I don't speak English?
That's no problem at all. I can understand and speak a whole bunch of different languages, so you can just talk to me in whatever language you're comfortable with. I'll be able to help you just the same. So feel free to speak in your own language, and we'll go from there.
Excellent. Any other thoughts as we start to wrap this up in terms of anything we've missed?
I think we've covered the big stuff really well. Just to kind of wrap it up, the main takeaway is just that anyone can start small, ask for help, and build up from there. And it doesn't matter your age, your language, or your background. This technology is for everyone. So I think we've got it all covered. It's just all about jumping in and giving it a try.
I'm going to put a website up on the thing right now. It's called AI Marketing Academy. It's at academy.jasonpanta.com and / and then there's a space. It is something that there's a fee for it, but if you put in the discount code, don't put that in the URL. That's something separate. In fact, am I allowed? Let me do this. Let me modify this so it's. Will that work this way? Can I do that? Nope, that's not going to let me do that. So let's do it this way.
Yeah, no worries at
There
all.
we go. I want to get this thing up on the screen because that's not part. It's not going to do that. That's the technology here. That's fine. So the URL is academy.jasonpantana.com. Put in discount code. It's family50. I think it's like $99 a month. I got it. So the reason I'm sharing that, I'm one of the 4 moderators in there. I get no stipend for this. I'm doing all of that on a volunteer basis. It's an environment led by Jason Pantana, who is the best of the best in terms of this technology. Not only the ability to understand the technology, but also to leverage it and teach it to folks like us, and also understand how to make it impact with business. So I don't normally recommend something that's going to cost, but this one I think is exceptional. Again, I get not a penny for this. I want to be really clear. If there was, I wouldn't recommend that. That's not what I want to try to do. So again, academy.jasonpantana.com. It's up on the screen right now. If you're watching it live and you don't catch it, the recording will be up there afterwards and you can stop it and you can take a look at it. So have you heard anything about Jason's Academy, ChatGPT?
Yeah, actually, I've definitely heard of Jason Pantana and his academy. He's pretty well known for helping people really get a handle on AI and digital marketing. So that's definitely a great resource for anyone who wants to dive in deeper. And it's awesome that you're volunteering your time there. So yeah, definitely a great recommendation.
All right. When's our next episode, ChatGPT?
Well, we've got the next episode coming up on Monday, and that's when we're going to dive into the whole topic of trust in AI. So Monday's the next one, and then we'll have another one on Thursday. Looking forward to it.
And Thursday, you and I will work together. We're going to share some secrets that maybe some other folks haven't done that. Some shortcuts and things like that. We may talk about some other LLMs or whatever, but I'm looking forward. I think at least right now, that's a good pattern to help as we grow here. And what I would ask folks, if you're finding this of value, please share this with your friends. It is going across all the channels. It does look like, even though I got an error message on Instagram, it appears that we're live right now. I'll be able to check that later tonight. I look forward to this thing. I want a lot more action. I want a lot more comments as we grow and we get live folks watching. Right now, it shows I have some folks watching on Instagram and I have some folks watching on YouTube. So there's probably more out there, but we'll continue to grow. We're going to continue to make a difference. And we're going to co-host this thing all the way through. ChatGPT, any closing comments?
I think you said it perfectly. It's going to be a lot of fun to keep growing this together. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all the comments and the interaction as more people join. So thanks everybody for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.